Good morning, students. I am from St. Mary's English High School. So, today we are going to learn environmental balance part 1. So, now last we have learned the lesson number 4 about the environmental balance. Now it is about lesson number 12, food for all. Now, student, as we know, to live we need four things, right? That is food, clothing, shelter, and education. In the same way, now let's come to the part that is food for all. First, that is agriculture. Agriculture seasons. We get food from plants. For that purpose, we sow grains in the field and plant fruit trees in orchards. About 60% of the land of a country is in use for agriculture. There are two main agriculture seasons in a country. The season from June to October is called the Kharif season. In this season, the crops are watered mainly by the rains. Now, agriculture, we get food from plants that we all know. Now, this is the purpose of our food, that we get certain grains, pulses. Now, these all grains, pulses and plants, they grow, right? In the purpose of the plants or trees. Also, these plants grow in the orchards. About 60% of the land in a country is for agriculture. There are two main seasons. Okay, the season from June to October is called Kharif season. In this season, the crops are watered mainly by the rains. Next, the season from October to March is the Rabi season. In this season, rainwater that has soaked into the soil, the retreating monsoons and dew are the sources of water for the crops. In addition, some crops are grown from March to June. These are called the summer crop. Now over here it is given that seasons where the crops have been grown from June to October is called the Kharif season, and the season from the October to March is called the Rabi season. Now the additional crops which grow from March to June is called the summer crops. Next, agricultural work. Every farmer wishes to get a great harvest. A good harvest provides a good income. Fertile land, good quality seeds and fertilizers, and availability of water are essential for a good harvest. It is also necessary to carry out the task of tilling the land. Now, what is agriculture work? Every farmer needs to do a lot of work for sowing, for winning, and for everything what they do in the agriculture work. Good harvest is to give the make the land fertile, good quality seeds, and also fertilizers and pesticides is available for the good harvest. It is necessary to take task for tilling the land. They do lot of hard work to bring this all agriculture work to bring in progress. The crop. The field must be protected and the harvest crop must also be stored safely. All of these processes are important, as we know that these all things which comes in the agriculture is very important for us also and for also that farmers, because they take lot of work. Also they harvest crop with lot of efforts, and they bring these all things into process, and therefore these all things are important in this agriculture work. The population of a country is increasing, and still the need of all these people are being met. This has been possible because of modern improved method of agriculture. Okay, so these all things come into our country due to our lots of population in our country. They do lots of efforts for increasing many needs. they provides many things for us, also little things which they are possible in. They bring these all things and becomes the modern improved method for agriculture. Now next, traditional agriculture. In the traditional method of agriculture, ploughing, tilling is etc. were done with the help of oxen. A moat, that is a huge leather bag driven with the help of oxen, are used in the draw water from the well. Now what is traditional agriculture? Traditional agriculture is the agriculture which first the people has to do about ploughing and tilling. Okay, so ox was the animal used in the farm to do ploughing, tilling, etc. Also, this moat, a huge leather bag, was used to drive in with the help of the oxen to draw the water from the well. Nowadays, we use different machines. Also, we used JCBs somewhere, right? Yes. Harvesting, threshing, etc. was done by the members of the farmers' family themselves with the help of oxen. However, farmers now carry out all these tasks with the help of machine. Nowadays, these farmers also take different new ideas, new inventions have been come for this harvesting and threshing. Therefore, they also use these certain things nowadays. But first, earlier they had to use the oxen to do all this machine work which they do today. So it is also made easy for them to harvest and make another things in the farm. Now next, improved methods of agriculture. Improved seeds. Earlier, it was customary to preserve the seeds of one harvest for sowing in the next season. Those seeds did not have a high field. Nowadays, improved seeds are developed through research. They are available in the market for every crop such as jawar, rice, groundnut, wheat, and etc. Now, what are the improved seeds? Improved seeds are the seeds in the certain pulses, grains, which all this includes in the one creation. It comes into the improved seeds. Earlier, the customers has to preserve the seeds to harvest and for sowing, but from the next seeds they didn't have the high yield. Therefore, nowadays improved seeds are developed through research, means they still preserve but in the good quality that the harvesting will be easy. They are available in market for every crop which such as jawar, you all know, rice, groundnut, wheat. This all pulses, seeds, grains come into one part. This have a high yield. They can resist pest attack. Some varieties become ripe for harvesting in a shorter period of time, while some give a high yield even with a low water supply. Now here are the some seeds, they grow in a very short period of time, while some they take high yield and low water but they take longer time to grow. Now modern method of irrigation. Crops grown well if they are watered at the right time. Water from rivers, lakes and wells is used for irrigation. In addition to rainwater, greater quantities of water are stored by building dams and bunds in river to obstruct the flow of water drawn streams. This also helps to raise the levels of the groundwater. Now, what is this modern method of irrigation? Crops grow well, right? When we give them sufficient water at the right time. Now, in the some farms, water is used from the lakes, rivers. Also, they take water from the draw wells. This is all what they come upon and give the irrigation in addition to the rainwater. They also store this rainwater for the longer time. Now over here, greatest quantities of water are stored in building dams and bunds. They restored this all water in the dams and bunds. Therefore, they can use this water again and again, and when they need for harvesting or for dripping irrigation. Crops were traditionally watered through canals. However, much water from the canal is lost due to evaporation and seepage into the ground. Now, certain improved methods of irrigation are used which provide enough water to the plant at the same time help to save a lot of water. Now over here, crops were traditionally watered, means they were imported to a machines, and machine has to give the water to each and every part of the land or a farm. But nowadays they also make small canals, means a small water ponds, which they become easy for the evaporation and the seepage into the ground, that the groundwater will restore again. Drip irrigation and sprinkle irrigation are two of these modern methods. Now, as you'll open your textbook, just go through the lesson once and see. The pictures have been given over there that I explained you all about the how they get water. Okay, they get through the small pipes also, and also from the sprinkle irrigation. So here are the two pictures given over here in your textbook about the drip irrigation and sprinkle irrigation. Just go through the pictures, means you all will understand it better. Next, the drip irrigation method makes use of pipes with the hole. This ensures that required amount of water drips only near the plant. Thus, full use is made of the available water. Sprinkle irrigation makes use of sprinkles of different sizes that spray water directly on plants. Now it is very easy for the farmers to give water for the plants. First they have to pour the water due to the pipes and such machines. But nowadays it is very easy for them because sprinkle irrigation is coming to develop, that it brings into the different sizes and sprays the water directly to the plants. Now next, fertilizers. If the same crops are grown repeatedly in a field, the fertility of the soil decreases. Then we have to add fertilizers to the soil to restore its productivity. Fertilizers provide the required nutritive substances to the crop. There are two kinds of fertilizers, natural and chemical. Now as you all know that a plant needs fertilizer to grow soon and also in a large quantity. Now same crops are grown repeatedly in a field, right? The fertility of the soil decreases. Then they add certain fertilizers to restore the productivity of the soil. Then the fertilizer provide the good nutritive substances which the crops are grown in a very large number and also in the good quality process. Natural fertilizers are called manures. Now what are these manures, students? Manures are the made from the waste things, waste food, peels of the fruits, seeds. Okay, so in this way rotten fruits, from these all things we can make a manure. So now here natural fertilizers are used. Manures, they are obtained from materials available in the nature like green waste and animal dung. Okay, green waste means what I told about the certain foodstuffs, peels of the fruits, right? And this animal dung, animal dung is also one kind of fertilizer which is good for the soil. Chemical and artificial fertilizers are mixtures of different chemical substances in specific proportion, useful for agriculture. In traditional agriculture, organic manure such as compost waste used. Now here are two types of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers and artificial fertilizers. Now, what are the chemical fertilizers? It is a substances in the specific proportion useful for the agriculture. But in the traditional agriculture, organic manures such as compost were used. Okay, as I told that in traditional agriculture, all waste things such as fruits and all this manures have been used for the traditional agriculture. Chemical fertilizers came to used for quicker growth and higher yields. Now, as you all know, when we use a certain chemical, it gives the production very soon. Therefore, nowadays they use chemical fertilizers for the soil and also for the plants. But this artificial fertilizer for the agricultural traditional agriculture, which I told, it takes little longer time to come over the soil. However, the harmful effects of the use of these fertilizers soon became clear. The overuse of chemical fertilizers leads to accumulation of excessive chemicals in the soil. This lowers the fertility of the soil and reduces its productivity. Okay, in the same way what I told you all about the chemical fertilizers and the artificial fertilizers. Now this overuse of the chemical fertilizers leads to the accumulation of excessive chemicals, means they come into a great force, right? These chemicals take a very soon result it gives for the fertilizers, and the soil of the fertility reduces the productivity. Next, overwatering makes the land saline and fallow. This is seen especially in the parts where water is available in plenty, as for example near dams or on river banks. Now overwatering the land saline and fallow. Now over here, as you all know that nowadays sprinkle irrigation has been overcoming. Okay, so firstly they store the water for the from the dams and river banks. So as for this part, the water was available in a plenty essentials. So they were not getting the less water for the soil and also for the crops which they have grown, which agriculture work they do. So here therefore it is given that overwatering makes the land saline and fallow. When the soil will get lot of water, lot amount of water, then the soil will give the nice productivity for the crops and also for the land. In land becomes saline and fallow, it has to be tested to find out which substances is lacks. The fertility can be restored by adding these substances. It is costly and time consuming procedure. Therefore, it is better to avoid excessive use of fertilizers and water. Now, in the land becomes saline and fallow, it has to be tested. As you all know that every soil and every crop they have been testing that what is lacking, what is less, whether water is less or whether fertilizer is less, they come into the tested form. Then the fertile can be restored by adding such substances. If something is less, they will add it and bring into the good substances by adding certain fertilizers. Therefore, it is better to avoid excessive use of fertilizers and water. Now next, protection of crops. Diseases and pest attacks can damage crops in the field. As a remedy, insecticides and pesticides are sprayed on crop, on certain chemicals are rubbed on the seeds before sowing. Now over here, diseases and pests attacks the damage the crops. Okay, this all comes and damages the crop. Therefore, for the better protection, they use certain insecticides and pesticide to spray on the crops for good sowing the seeds. Storage of grains. Storing the harvested crop safely is an important in increasing the production. What steps are taken for the purpose? Now we store grains for the longer time, right? Now, what all things come into this storing of grains? Let's see. The grains is dried well in the sun and filled in sacks. The sacks are then stocked in the house or after selling in warehouses or shops. Stored grains can get damaged in two ways. Mice, rats, and insects can spoil the grains to a great extent. Also, if the grain is stored in a close and damp place, it catches fungus and becomes unfit for eating. Now, when they store these grains in a warehouse, they maintain a different precautions. They take different precautions to store these grains. While when they mice and rat, all these insects, when they get into that store grains room, they will damage these all things. Also, they will be getting spoiled when these all things get into this warehouse. And also we have to store it in the closed and damp space. Means when we closed this all things into one separate room, the fungus and the other unfit things will not get affect to that stored grains. Okay, so we must take care, and we must also take care. And also these farmers, they take lot of care by storing these grains. To prevent such damage by pest, chemicals are sprayed at the place of storage or all around it. Neem leaves are mixed in the grains. Some protective chemicals that can be mixed with the grains are also available in the market. Their smell repels insects. Storage places are always kept dry and airy to prevent fungus formation. Now, as your parents know, just once ask to prevent these all grains, we also use the neem leaves. Neem leaves have been mixed in these grains. Means they protect from the certain insects. Therefore, we also use certain chemicals that can be used for these grains. So, storage places always keep dry and airy, prevent fungus formation. So, also students, if we have storeroom at our home and various uh, storage of grains have been taken place, so you all must also be careful that prevent your room by keeping it dry and airy to prevent fungus formation. Okay, so this is what we learned today in the food for all lesson. Okay, half part. Next part we will see in the next period. For that while, stay safe, take care. Thank you.